أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء المرسلين محمد وأهل بيت الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين سيما الإمام المنتظر الحجة الثاني عشر روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء أما بعد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي زدني علما صدق الله العلي العظيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Right, so we're going to start lesson number 7. What did we do last lesson? Who remembers? Okay. So we are going to, in this lesson, learn about the weak verbs and practice the weak verbs in this lesson. And it's a really long lesson. It's probably the longest lesson in the book. And it wants us to understand some of the basic rulings in regards to the weak verbs. We will start off with the points to remember. And I will ask Sister Kulthum Bihmani. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Kulthum.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Been gone a long time, so a lot of catching up, but inshallah.
Inshallah. So in this point to remember, it's going to go through the rulings of the weak verbs. So in the previous lesson, we were speaking about the weak verbs, and everything, the minimum letters in a verb are 3 letters. For example, if you see this verb, qala, we have the qaf, alif, and lam. And everything is measured on the pattern of fa'ala. And we will say the fa is in the place of the qaf, alif is in the place of ain, lam is in the place of the lam, so fa'ala. And the term which is used in the English language, or in the Arabic language, first of all, we will say qaf is in the place of ainul fi'l, because qala is a verb, so you call it ainul fa'ul fi'l. So the qaf is in the place of fa'ul fi'l, alif is in the place of ainul fi'l, lam is in the place of lamul fi'l, because everything is measured on the pattern of fa'ala, so we call it fa'ul fi'l, ainul fi'l, lamul fi'l. Now, each of these, and you probably remember from book 4, I sent you the handouts, and it said when there's a weak letter situated in the beginning of a 3-letter verb, meaning the first, so in English we call it the first radical, the second radical, and the third radical. As you know, there's 3 letters in a verb. And when the weak letter is situated in the beginning, it's called mithal. Mithal. This is the name given to it. And if it's situated in the middle, it's called ajwaf. Ajwaf. And if the weak letter is situated right at the end of the verb, like da'a or rama or radiya yarda, khashiya yaghsha, it will be called naqis. And here we are focusing in this particular lesson about the weak letter being situated in the middle, and this is called mu'tal. Mu'tal means weak. Al-ain, middle of the 3-letter verb, fa, ain, lam, and the name given to this type of verb is called ajwaf.
Okay.
Bismillah, go ahead now, Sister Kulthum.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this lesson, we learn the following: the muta'al al-ain or ajwaf. Mu'tal al-ain or ajwaf verbs. We have seen earlier these verbs have waw or ya as a second radical. Example: qala yaqulu, zara yazuru, ba'a yabi'u. I think there's a mistake here in my book.
There's a dot missing. There's a dot missing.
Or an extra dot. I think yabi'u, sara yasiru, nama yanamu, khafa yakhafu.
Correct.
These verbs have undergone certain changes as explained below. Kala is originally kawala,
Correct.
or yakulu is originally yakwulu.
Correct. So
Okay.
yakwolo is the original, and it's changed to yaqulu. So it's all because so when there's changes occurring with the weak verbs, this is only because the weak verbs are slightly difficult for the tongue, and because it's been difficult to utter them, so they have made the changes accordingly. So qawala became qala, and Sara became Sara originally was
Sayara
yep.
and yasiru is originally yasyiru.
Yasiro, yeah, exactly.
Yasyiru.
Yasiro on the pattern of Daraba, Yadribu, and Qala Yaqulu is on the pattern of Nasara,
Yansur.
Yansuru. Excellent.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yes, go ahead, doctor.
Sayara can also mean a car, isn't it?
Which one?
Sayara?
No, that's Sayyara. No. The word Sayyaratun means a car. This is a verb now. Sayara, Saria Siros means to move.
To walk.
So that is for a noun, Sayara.
Yeah. Sayyaratun is a car. That's a noun, but here, Sara Yasiro means to move here.
To move. Okay. Nama is originally Navima, and Yanamu is originally Yanvamu. Okay. These verbs undergo some more changes at the time of their isnad or mutaharrik pronouns. These changes are as follows. In the Mahdi, if the ajwaf verb is of the AU group, which is Nasara Yansuru, the first radical takes dhamma at the time of its isnad to mutaharrik pronouns. For example, kulna, kulta, kultum, kulti, kultunna, kultu, kulna.
Excellent. Okay, let me add something else to make life easier. Now, so whenever...
what is the meaning of mutaharrik and isnad, please?
Yep, okay, I'll explain. So it says if the ajwaf verb is of u, the first radical takes dhamma at the time of its isnad to mutaharrik pronouns. Okay, I'll explain. Okay, what this means, doctor, is this. Is that there in the Arabic language, there can be, when we're having a weak letter situated in the middle, it can either be a waw in the middle when it's a weak letter, or either it can be a correct. Now, whenever, make life easier. So point number A, remember? Point number A. I'm gonna make it this easy for you. Point number A. So whenever the root word was, for example, qawala, qawala will change to qala, and its present tense will be yaqulu. Yaqulu. So whenever in the Arabic language you have a three-letter verb, and in the past tense the middle letter is an alif, and in the present tense it changes to a waw, and the root word is originally qawala. When you conjugate the past tense, which verb you're conjugating? The past tense. Okay? So when you're conjugating the past tense, you say qala, qala, qalu, qalat, qalata. You will not say qalna, but instead of saying qala, the alif of qala, the alif is dropped, and it becomes so. Because in the present tense there was a waw given to yaqulu, so this yaqulu past tense, this qaf changes from a fatha to a dhamma, and it says that the first radical takes a dhamma at the time of isnad to a mutaharrik pronoun. So this kulta, can you see this? So mutaharrik means when it has a harakat, okay? So ta is having a harakat. So these are pronouns attached. So whenever you have the 6-person plural feminine pronoun attached, you all females, it changes the first radical of the three-letter verb changes to a dhamma. You need to go to the present tense to know this. So if in the present tense, remember this point, I'll make it easy for you. If in the present tense, if the first radical, what is the first radical? Qala yaqulu. So which is the first radical of the three-letter verb? Is it the qaf or the
Qaf.
qaf or lam? Qaf.
Qaf.
Exactly. So the qaf is having a dhamma in the present tense. Now in the past tense, the sixth form will change to a dhamma. Qul,
Qulna.
qulna. Remember, number one. Number two, whatever in the present tense you have a ya, alif, sara, sayara, changes to a ya, yasiro, sara, yasiro. So whenever it changes to a ya,
It's a kasra.
exactly. If it's a ya, it changes to a ya, and the letter, the first letter of the weak letter has a kasra or a fatha, the past tense plural feminine first form of sara yasiru will become
Sirna.
sirna.
So there are two things that are changing. One is that the weak letter is being dropped.
Correct.
And the first letter, the haraka, is changing. It either goes into a dhamma or a kasra.
Exactly. That's the only two things. Whenever you're dealing with a three-letter verb, it has only two harakat. A three-letter weak verb when the middle letter is weak, either a kasra, a dhamma, or a kasra. There's no fathas.
Okay.
So remember, look at this. Nama, yanamu. Yanamu is having a fatha. So whenever it has a kasra or a fatha, yasara yasiru, nama, yanamu, it becomes nimna, sirna.
Sirna. Okay.
This is basically in a nutshell everything about the whole lesson. So the Huma, is this everything sinking in? Clear?
Yes. Yeah.
Sister Munira, Sister Sadiqa, ask questions. If you don't ask, if you don't understand it, I'll repeat it again. The more I repeat, the more you're sinking better.
Yes,
No,
understood.
Maulana, I'm confused.
Okay, good. In the sense that you're genuine, like that. Okay.
Good.
Right. Normally, let me explain it in another way now. Right. When we did the verb, for example, dharaba, remember we did the verb dharaba, which means he hit, correct?
Yes.
The present tense of dharaba is
Yadribu.
yadribu. Sister Sadiqa, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, how would you say in the Arabic language they all females hit in the past tense? Dharab?
Yadribna.
Dharabna. No,
Oh,
past tense.
zarabna.
Dharabna. Can you see this? Dharabna. Because all of the verbs is dharaba, dharaba, dharabu, dharabat, dharabata, dharabna.
Yes.
So here, the harakat remains all the same. All three letters, or for the first, dhad, and the ra, remains with the fatha itself, dharabna. Yes?
Yeah.
Correct? When we
Yes.
did the verb nasara yansuru, what was the past tense of they all females hit?
Further about this in
Sorry,
A,
the all females helped.
I to A groups.
Yeah, so the all
Just
females
might have
helped
forgotten it.
is nasar,
No.
nasarna. Excellent. So dharabna, nasarna, and the other one we did was fataha yaftahu. So the past tense of the all females helped is
Fatahna.
exactly. Can you see all three of them remain fatahna, dharabna, nasarna? Yes, is that clear so for everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Next step now. These naughty verbs of the weak verbs, they are challenging. However, I'm going to make it easy. Qala yaqulu. If you write this on a piece of paper, qala yaqulu is on the pattern of nasara,
Yansuru.
yansuru. Nasara, yansuru. They all females helped is nasarna. Yes?
Yes.
Nasarna. Yes.
However, when we do the plural of qala yaqulu, it will not be, for example, qalna, but it will be kulna.
Kulna.
Kulna. The reason why the qaf is getting a dhamma is because these are weak verbs, and with the weak verbs, what happens? The present tense. Can you see this verb yaqulu?
Yes.
The present. This governs the past tense plural. So when in the present tense, the first letter, the qaf, which was with a fatha in the past tense, if in the present tense the qaf takes a dhamma, then in the past tense plural feminine, which was nasarna, will become, the qaf will change to a dhamma,
Kul.
and it becomes qulna.
Again, the weak letter is dropped again.
Exactly. The weak letter is dropped. Sister Mukarrama, did that make sense? Sister Munira?
Yes, trying to check.
Allah. That's
Okay. Okay.
I think, Sheikh, this just requires more repetition as far as just reviewing it.
I will explain this again when I do the exercise, and it will become crystal clear.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
So
Sarah.
Sheikh, when in this fa'ala, ain weak letter,
Yep.
there is a waw or ya, it changes to alif.
Yes.
When it's a when it is a, so repeat that again, please.
Waw or ya
Yep.
in this ajwaf
Yep.
weak letter,
Correct.
then it changes to alif.
It can change to an alif. Correct. And it also can change to a
Hamza.
ya or a wow. So that's slightly difficult. Make it this way easier. This is the easier way of doing it. Say so any verb, any ajwaf verb, when there's a weak letter in the middle, it comes on the pattern of nasara yansuru, pattern of qala yaqulu. Its past tense plural, nasara yansuru, normally should be nasarna. But because in the weak verbs, the present tense governs the past tense first harakat of the verb of qala yaqulu, it becomes qulna. So the present tense qaf had a dhamma. So because of this, in the past tense, the first harakat of the qaf changes to a fatha, and it becomes
Changes to a dhamma, right?
Yeah, changes to a dhamma and becomes qulna, and it remains qulna, qulta, qultuma, qultum, qulti, qultuma, qultunna, qultu, qulna. Let me give you another one. Sister, where's she? Sister, Siddiqa Jafar, Bismillah, come on the mic. Let me use this. Make it easier for you. This is the best way of explaining it. Sister Siddiqa, Bismillah. These verbs come in the Quran as well, and in ahadith as well. Sister, zara yazuru is on the same pattern as qala yaqulu, nasara yansuru. Can you see here now that after the zal there's a alif, and it changes to a waw. Changes the waw, and the zal in the present tense has a dhamma. Yes.
Yeah.
So qala yaqulu became qulna in the past tense. Zara yazuru
Will become Zurna then.
Ahsanti. Brilliant. Qama yaqumu, it's having a waw, and the qaf is having a dhamma. So the past tense plural feminine, they all stood, or they all stood, will become
Kumna.
mashallah. Dhaka yadhuku, and
Sukna.
alif has changed to a waw, and the dal is having a dhamma. So in the past tense, the dal from plural feminine, the all females tasted, will now change from a fatha to a dhamma. It will become,
Zukna.
is everyone with me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
so Sheikh, here the alif is standing in the madi form.
Yes.
The alif is standing for the waw. And then in the mudariya, the waw is showing up.
Yes, the waw
So
comes
this
back.
really makes a lot of sense, because earlier, like ages ago, you had
Yeah.
given us these weak verbs,
Yes, I did.
and we had to write them, and it was so difficult to try and figure out when the waw comes and the waw disappears. Now it
Exactly.
makes sense.
Yeah, so that's the reason why with Arabic language, you have to do it for phases. You cannot teach all of the actual formulas at once. So gradually,
Yes.
first you let the child chew.
Figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. So you let the child mutter, and once he starts muttering and starts speaking in his Googlish language, then you start teaching them the proper way of and the formulas behind it now. So
Yes.
whenever you see a waw in the present tense in a weak letter verb in the middle, you will know that the past tense plural feminine, the first letter of the verb will be with a dhamma. ذاك يذوق ذقنا. طاف يطوف. They all females did tawaf will be what?
Ufna.
MashaAllah. Okay, now I'm going to test the whole class together so that I can get everyone together. Sister Sadiqa Asari. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah, sister.
Alaikum salam.
How are you?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Can you hear me today?
Yes, I
Oh,
can. I can. I
okay.
can clearly. Now, how would you say I did tawaf in the past tense?
Tawafa.
Yeah, tawafa, he did tawaf. But how would you say, first of all, they all females did tawaf? So you know that in the present tense, the ta has a dhamma. So in the
Tawafna.
past tense, plural feminine, the ta will change to the fatha will change to a dhamma. Will it come?
Tufna.
Exactly. And how do you say I did tawaf?
Tuftu.
Exactly. How do you say we did tawaf?
Tufna.
Exactly. Ahsanti. How do you say you, one female, did tawaf?
Tuftu. No, tufti.
MashaAllah. Does it make sense now?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you for that. Sister Sadiqa Jafar, Bismillah, come on the mic, please. Sister, how do you say I tasted in past tense? Ana?
أنا زكت
No, dhamma. The dal should have a dhamma.
زكت
Ana dhuktu.
زكت
Yeah. So I say I tasted the food.
زكت
How do you say food? At-ta'am. Ana dhuktu at-ta'am. I tasted the food. Ana dhuktu at-ta'am. Okay? How do you say you tasted? How do you say you tasted for one female?
زكتي
Exactly. Dhukti
طعام
at-ta'am. How do you say you, one boy, tasted the food?
زكت
Dhuk anta
زك
ta
زكت
at-ta'am. Exactly. Brilliant. That's brilliant. Thank you for that. Sis Sharabano, can you come on the mic, please?
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. How do you say I visited? Zara yazuru. So present tense has a dhamma on the zal. In the past tense, the zal from a fatha will change to a dhamma. The alif is dropped. The to is added. I visit will become
I visit Uz
zur. Zur.
Zurtu
Yeah, zurtu. And we visited.
Zurna
She visited.
or Anti, right?
No. Is you female visited? Is zur?
You female visited.
Yeah. Zur.
That's a hard one. Zarat.
Yeah, zarat. Yeah. Is she visited is zarat, but you, one female visited is zur,
Zurti.
and you, one boy visited.
You one boy visited Zurta.
Ahsanti. Ahsanti. Thank you for that. Sister Munira, can you come on mic, please?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Qama yaqumu, there's a waw in the middle, in the present tense. So I stood.
قمت
We stood.
قمنا
Excellent. She stood. So when she stood, it remains the same. قاف
قامت
التعليل. أحسنتي قامت. हम नमाज में कहते नहीं है قد قامت الصلاة.
Hmm.
قد means indeed. قامت. What? She stood. What is standing? الصلاة.
قد قامت الصلاة.
Exactly.
The prayers have
Established.
begun.
Yeah,
Yes,
but it has
yes.
begun or been, it has been erected. قد قامت is female, but the word as-salat is feminine, so that's why we say قد قامت. We say قد قامت الصلاة because there's a sukoon on the ta, and when you're joining the sukoon with a alif lam at the afterwards, you give the star with the sukoon a kasra to join it on. قد قامت الصلاة. Excellent. How would you say he stood?
He stood قام.
How do you say you all boys stood?
قاموا.
No, you all boys. Plural.
You all plural.
Antum.
Oh, أنتم. You all. Okay.
Yes.
قمتم.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Excellent. Sister Mukarrama. Kana yakunu. I was.
كنت
We were.
كنا
You, one female was.
كنت
You, one boy was.
كنت
I was a prophet. Nabiyan.
كنت نبيا
Kuntu nabiyan.
كنت نبيا
Yeah, I was a prophet. Kuntu nabiyan. Excellent. And she stood. Sorry, she was.
كنت
No,
she
kunt.
was
No, when look at
كانت
kana, you just add a ta at the end. Ta with a sukoon.
كانت
Kanat. Excellent. Doctor, Bismillah, you go.
So what do you want me to do now?
What I want you to do, I want you to do the most difficult thing, which is going to be this. I'm going to ask you questions about Sama Yasumu. How would you say I fasted?
Past tense is some.
I fasted.
I fasted. So
You're missing the attached pronoun. To.
something.
Nay, sumtu.
Sumtu.
Yeah, like you remember kuntu, sumtu. Qul, how do you say I said?
Huh?
How do you say I said?
I said.
Yeah, I said.
I said.
Yes, said. I said.
I said. Kultu.
Exactly. And I fasted.
Sumtu.
We fasted.
Sumna.
Excellent. You, one boy fasted.
Sumta.
You, one female fasted.
Sumti.
You, all boys fasted.
Sumtuma.
No, you all, plural.
Sumtum.
Exactly. And you, all females fasted.
Sumtunna.
MashaAllah. Has this sunk in now?
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
Which one?
Have you understood now better?
Yes.
The past tense.
I think it's clearer now. Hassan.
Brilliant. Sayyida Humazadi.
Yes.
Taba yatubu. I repented.
Taba yutubu. I
Yeah.
repent.
Alif is dropped. The ta is put a dhamma and it becomes
Yutubu.
tub. No, past tense.
Past tense. Oh.
Yeah.
Taba. Tabu.
Correct. Tabat.
Tabata.
Correct.
Tabtanna.
No. Ta should have a dhamma. Tub.
Tubtun.
Tubna. Tubna.
Tubna
And then you, one boy.
will be tubta.
Correct. You, one female.
It will be tubti.
Exactly. You, one female, repent, and I repented.
Upti,
Tubtu. I
Tubtu.
repented. Tubtu.
Tubtu,
Exactly. And we repented.
Tubtunna,
Tubtunna is, yeah, Tubna. Correct. Tubna.
Tubna.
Excellent. Thank you. Right. Okay, this one hurdle is done. So this is all of the verbs. So whenever you have qala yaqulu, kana yakunu, the alif in the past tense changes to a dhamma. Then in the past tense plural, feminine, the alif will change to a dhamma. Sister Sadiqa Saria, is that clear for you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, brilliant. So that's the first ruling. The second ruling is this one here. So if the verb is of a and e, what does a and e mean? It means it's on the pattern of dharaba, yadribu, or on the pattern of fataha, yaftahu. Okay? So this one here, can you see Sara is past tense? Original verb is sayara. Can you see here now yasiru? The scene is having what harakat? What harakat is the scene having, everyone, please?
Kasra.
Kasra. So this is on the pattern of dharaba yadribu. So whenever a verb is on the pattern of dharaba yasribu, sara yasiru, or on the pattern of nama
Yanam.
yanamu. This is on the pattern of fataha yaftahu, because noon is having a fatah. Fataha yaftahu. There's only 3 patterns for a 3-letter weak verbs when in the middle. So dharaba yadribu, sara yasiru, or fataha yaftahu, nama yanamu. So these are the only 3 patterns for all of the weak verbs when they're situated in the middle. So
It
whenever
would be kind of you if you can write down this A to I and I to A groups for us and send us so that we can recall it all properly.
yeah, I'll do that. I'll send that. I'll write a table to compare it and make life easier for you. I'll do that. I want to explain it and then I'll send it across. So whenever it's with a kasra or a fatha, in the present tense, the first radical, sara yasiru nama yanamu. So whenever you have this 2 options in that scenario, or in this scenario, the past plural feminine will take not a dhamma, but it will take a
Kasra.
kasra. So it will be Sara, Sara, Saru, Sarat, Sarata, and then
Sirna.
exactly. Thank you. Nama, Sister Kulthum, do Nama, please.
Okay. So nama becomes nimna, nimta, nimtum, nimti, nimtunna, nimtu, nimna.
Thank you.
So
for that.
this one gets the kasra.
Yeah. So
So there's never a fatha in these weak verbs with ajwaf.
Yep, in the ajwaf. Correct.
Thank you.
Okay. So let's read this from A again so that it makes more sense now, because we've practiced it. So it should make much more clearer for everyone now. Bismillah. If the ajwaf verb,
if the ajwaf verb is of the AU group, the first radical takes dhamma at the time of its
let me
isnad.
ask you this question. What does AU group mean? AU group,
is bab nasara.
yeah. So A means that in the past tense, the middle letter has a fatah, nasara. And in the present tense, U means that it has a dhamma, nasara, yansuru. Go ahead, sister.
Yes. So so for example, so at the time, so the first radical takes dhamma at the time of its isnad to mutaharrik pronouns like kulna, kulta, kultum, kulti, kultunna, kultu, kulna. So Sheikh, here in the bottom, it tells you what the mutaharrik pronoun is.
Yes.
And so I heard that there are two mutaharrik pronouns in Mudaria, and that is the tunna, hunna, and the tunna, correct?
Mhm.
And in the Mudaria,
Yeah,
form.
yeah.
Okay, so that's why it is sirna, sirta, sirti, sirtunna, sirtu, sirna, and then nimna, nimta, nimtum, nimti, nimtunna, nimtu, nimna.
Thank you.
In B, the second
This-
radical, yeah, go ahead.
This, if the verb is of a
Oh.
and e, or a, e and a.
Okay, if the verb is of a, e, or, so these are bab fataha and bab zaraba.
Yep.
Okay, so zaraba yazribu and fataha yaftahu. If the verb is of those ai or ia group, the first radical takes a kasra, so it would be sirna, sirta, sirti, sirtunna, sirtu, sirna, and nimna, nimta, nimtum, nimti, nimtunna, nimtu, nimna. The second radical is omitted, as can be seen in the above examples.
So meaning in here, in Sar, the alif has been dropped in Sara. In Nama, the alif has been dropped. This is a ruling when you do the plural feminine, not it. Sa'ra, Sarna. You can't read it. The alif is dropped, and then alif is dropped in Nimna as well.
So, Sheikh, one question regarding the Sara. What is the three vowels there? Because typically alif is not an alif, it is representing either a waw or a ya. So for Sara, it is sayara.
Yeah, we've done this already. Let me show you again.
It is sayara. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
Sara,
Yeah.
Sayara.
Sayara.
Nama originally was Nawima.
Yasiru. Okay, that's why it became Yasiru. Okay. In Mudari, Mudari Marfu, the second radical is omitted at the time of its isnad to the mutaharrik pronouns. So yakulna, takulna, yasirna, tasirna, yanamna, tanamna.
So what it's trying to say is that when we did the plurals, I will do this lesson. I will write on in a diagram format, make it easier for you. So when we did the plural of the plural feminine, how do you say they all females helped in the present tense? We said
Yansurna.
Yansurna. But because here once the meme is silent, the waw is already silent. So the waw gets dropped here. Yanamna, tanamna in the present. Sorry, the alif is dropped in these cases. Yanamna and tanamna. So this is what's happening. In Yasirna, they all females are moving or traveling. It should have been Yadribna. The ya between the sin and the ra has been dropped. In Tasirna, the ya has been dropped between the sin and the ra as well.
Okay.
And Yansurna and Yaqulna, there should be a waw in the plural present tense. The waw is dropped between the qaf and the lam. I'll send this again in the group so that you can revise it as well, inshallah. Continue.
Okay. So in the Mudari Majzum, the second radical is omitted in the following four forms in addition to the two mentioned under the Mudari Marfu, which is the kulna, and so it is the hunna and the tunna part, right? So here it is yaf'alu lam, it becomes lam yakul, lam yasir, lam yanam. So if it is taf'alu lam takul, lam tasir, lam tanam. Af'alu becomes lam akul, lam asir.
No, lam taqul.
Lam akul.
No, taqul.
So I'm third line.
Okay, sorry. So you go across is lam taqul, lam tasir, lam tanam.
Yeah, lam tanam. Then af'alu becomes lam akul, lam asir, lam anam.
Correct.
And then naf'alu becomes lam nakul, lam nasir, lam nanam.
So what's happened here? If we, it's original word is naqul, naqulu. So the waw is silent and the lam is silent. Whenever a waw and a non-vowel are silent together, always the weak letter, the alif waw, is dropped. So this is what I said. This omission is due to iltiqa'u sakinain, means that when the two weak letters together.
Yes. So
Which
this
is the
omission is
ruling.
due to iltikau sakinaini. So lam yakul is originally lam yaku with waw and lam with a sakin. Here both the waw and the lam are sakin, vowelless. So the weak letter waw is omitted.
So where's the sakin here? How many sakins do you find here in this one here?
So there was the lam and the waw both had a sakin, right? Lam,
Yep.
and you cannot pronounce the last part of it. Lam yaku, and then waw and the lam have a sakin.
Exactly. So
Both.
what happens? Do
The
we drop
waw
the
is
lam?
dropped. Yeah.
Correct.
So therefore you can pronounce it as lam yakul.
Correct.
So same thing as lam yasir is originally lam yasi, and then again you cannot pronounce the ya, and there are both here both the ya and the ra are sakin, so the weak letter ya is omitted. Lam yanam is originally lam yana, and then again the same thing here, both the alif and the mim are sakin, so the weak letter alif is omitted.
Excellent. Thank you. Let me bring who wants to come on the mic now? Let's bring Sister Siddiqa Saria. Bismillah, Sister Siddiqa. So these are not commands now. In dealing with the weak letter situated in the middle. So normally, when we're, so for example, if we did the verb dharaba yadribu, what is the command of dharaba yadribu?
idrib,
Exactly. So why did we bring a hamzatul wasl in the beginning?
because the dot, it has a
Sukun.
sukun.
Exactly. And nasara yansuru, the command will be unsur.
Unsur.
Yeah. And the command of alima ya'lamu will be i'lam,
I'lam.
because the ain has a sukun. Now, when we make the command of these verbs, because qala yaqulu or taqulu, after the ta, does the qaf, once we drop the ta, does the qaf,
It
is it
has a
silent or is it mutaharrik? Does it have a harakat?
it has a harakat.
So because of this, there's no need to bring hamzatul wasl in the beginning.
Yeah.
So what we need to do is that the last letter, we give it a sukun, and it becomes, the command becomes
Kul.
And then after kul, what will be the two females, the two boys were said to say, how do you say that? How do you say the six forms? Kul,
Is will it be
the waw comes back in the plural, in the dual.
oh
Qul, qula, this one here.
oh yeah, Kula, it's there, isn't it? Okay. Kula.
Qul, qula, qulu. So after there, qula, after the lam, so after the waw, the lam should have a fatha. Qul, qula, qulu. Qulu is a plural. So qul, qula, qulu. How do you say to one female? This one here.
Kuli.
Quli. And two females? Qula.
Kula.
And then you all females?
Kulna.
Exactly. And then Sara Yasira, to travel or to move, command will be?
So
Sir. Yep.
Sira.
Correct.
So it'd be Sira, Siru, Siri, Sirna.
Thank you. Next one. Nama. What? So Nama, present tense of Nama is what's present tense?
Nam.
No, the present tense. Nama. Yana.
Yanamu.
Perfect. Nama, Yanamu. And the command will be?
Nam.
And then after that, the next five?
Namu. Nami.
Nama,
Nam.
then namna, correct.
Yeah.
So namu, here, kulu, siru, namu, these are the plural masculine, and this is the female, singular, kuli, siri, nami, and these are the plurals, feminine. Right. Sister Sister Munira, can you ask you any questions, Sister Sadiqa Saria? Sister Sadiqa, any questions?
No, thank you.
Sister Munira, Bismillah.
I start.
Yeah, B, point number B.
So there
There is
is
no need to add.
no need to add Hamzatul Wasl at the beginning of the Amr, as it does not commence with a sakin letter. From Taqulu, we get Kul. So after omitting the initial Ta in the final Dhamma, and the Kul, the Waw in the Lam Sakin is changed to Kul because of
So kul
Kul.
is so when we recite in the Quran, kul, it means
Say.
correct.
It is recorded as for Anta.
Yep.
So we drop the Waw here, and it is iltiqa, because of the iltiqa'u sakinain.
Mhm.
From Tasiru, we get Sir, Ya Sakin and Ra Sakin, which is changed into Sir. From Tana'mu, we get Alif Sakin and Mim Sakin, which is changed into Nam. We drop the weak letter. Number 2, by Allah, I almost died. Wallahi, laqad kidtu amutu. After a qasam oath, the affirmative Madi should be emphasized with laqad. The negative Madi needs no emphasis. Here are some more examples. By Allah, I saw him in the market. Wallahi, laqad ra'aytuhu bis-suq.
Fissuk.
Fis-suq.
Yep.
By Allah, I heard this news from many people. Wallahi, laqad sami'tu hadha al-khabar min kathirin min al-nas. But, wallahi ma akaltu shay'an, by Allah, I ate nothing. So here, shay'an, nothing, because of the
No need to bring laqad in this sentence here.
Because there is no laqad, yeah. By Allah, I did not write this. Wallahi ma katabtu hadha. Note, the waw in wallahi is a preposition. And so the following noun is majroor.
So meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is getting a kasra because of waw qasam. Brilliant. Sister, number 3, Sister Mukarrama, Bismillah.
So can I just ask something?
Yes, go
You
ahead.
know the 4 examples, the first 2 there was laqad. Why
Yep.
is there no laqad for the other 2?
The reason why these are negative sentences.
Okay.
Say
And
it
sorry,
here.
one more question. You know, like is it correct to take oath by Allah for things like this or not?
No, it is not recommended to take it's makruh to take some people say wallahi wallahi. It is not something recommended that you should take custom from and everything which is insignificant.
Okay, thank you.
So it's makruh. Right, Sister Mukarrama, point number 3.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I thought it to be my notebook. Zanantuhu daftari. The verb zanna takes 2 objects and both are in the one soup. Example.
So
The
what does
weather
this mean?
is
No, what does this mean? Dhanna takes 2 objects. What does this mean? What do you understand by that? So,
okay.
so dhanna itself, first of all, dhanna is a verb. So normally we learn that a verb has an object. It has one object. But some verbs in the Arabic language can have more than one object. So, for example, al-jawu jamilun, the weather is fine.
Beautiful.
Good. Mm.
Now, what you're having now is that both of these words are now going to be the object for the verb adhunnu. So, adhunnu al-jawwa jamilun. I thought, I'm thinking the weather is
I
beautiful.
reckon the weather is
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
good.
Yes.
Fine. Al-babu mughlaqun. The door is closed. Azunnu al-baba mughlaqan. I think the door is closed.
Correct.
Al-imtihanu ba'idun. The examination is far. Azunnu al-imtihana ba'idan. I think the examination is far. Anta tabibun. You are a doctor. Azunnuka tabiban. I think you are a doctor.
Excellent.
Azunnu anna al-jawwa jamil. We can
Jamil.
also say al-jawu jamilun. That the weather is fine. Azunnu anna al-jawwa jamilun. I think certainly the weather is fine.
Excellent. So because of anna coming now, so al-jawwa and jamilun is no longer the two objects of adhunnu. Now anna, it's the al-jawwa having a fatha is the ism of anna, and jamilun is the khabar of
Anna.
exactly. Exactly.
Shall I continue?
Let me bring someone on the mic as well now.
Okay.
Who is missing? Let's bring Dr. Rahim.
Rahim. We can also say Azunna Annal Jawa Jamilun. We think that the weather is beautiful. Jawa Jamilun, that's what it's written as. And then number 4, Ijlis Haythu Tasha. Sit wherever you wish. And then number 5 is note that in Yaji'u, the Hamza is written after the Ya, because both the Ya and the Hamza are pronounced Yaji'u. Ya and Hamza are pronounced. But in Lam Yaji', the Hamza is written above the Ya. Lam Yaji' is written above the Ya. Here only the Hamza is pronounced, and the Ya is only a chair for the Hamza.
So what it's trying to say, in Yaji'o, the Ya and the Hamza is pronounced when it's in original form, Yaji'o. But when Lam comes, the Ya is dropped and only the Hamza is pronounced. Lam Yaji'. And this Ya is only used as a chair for the
Right.
Hamza.
And number 6 is Shafa'aka Allahu
Shafakallah, Shafakallah.
Kamilan. Shafa'aka Allahu Shifa'a Kamilan. May Allah grant you complete health.
So the word La Yambaghi, so it says it is not proper. So the word La Yambaghi also, it is not desired, or it is not liked. So it comes in the Arabic text quite often. La yambaghi an tarfa'a sawtaka. It's not desired that you raise your voice, for example. So la yambaghi is a phrase and it's a verb which is used. It is not appropriate, or it is not allowed.
It is a
Sheikh,
phrase.
it's in the Quran as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I've seen in the Quran, yes. لا ينبغي, yes. So لا ينبغي للطالب أن يغيب. It is not proper for a student to be absent. لا ينبغي. It is not proper for the student للطالب أن يغيب, that he should remain
So it's
absent.
talibi, yeah, because it's talibi because of li, right?
Preposition, yeah, li.
Yeah.
Okay, li talibi.
لا ينبغي لك أن تقول هذا. It is not becoming of you to say this.
Mhm.
Can I continue?
Yes.
Number 8, the verb mata is he died, isn't mata?
Mhm.
Isn't that right?
Yep. Mata, he died. Yes. It
Right.
comes.
8Y group. Nama yanamu. The verb mata comes in 2 groups. Group A is I to A group. Is darba yadribu group. Mata yamutu yamatu. Mata yamatu. Nama yanamu. With a mutaharrik pronoun, the first radical has kasra in the madi. Mittu,
Mitto or mitna.
mittu, mitna. That is in the past, in the madi.
Yeah, correct.
In the Quran, mittu occurs 9 times. In the A to U group, I would like you to
So-
send details of this, please.
Yeah, so what it means A to U group means that in the past tense, there's a fata, mata, fa'ala. Yamutu, the first radical, the meme has a dhamma. So
Yeah.
mata, yamutu. And in the previous one, mata, yamato. In this group, it in the present tense, it has a fatha on the meme. So there's 2 groups. Hamza, on the parts of alima ya'lamu, mata yamato, or mata yamutu. There's 2 patterns, 1 verb is coming on. So sometimes it comes in. So as you know, I mentioned that whenever in the present tense, the first radical has a fatha, yanamu, yanamu, mata, yamato, meme having a fatha. In the past tense, plural feminine, it takes a kasra, the first letter. So in the present tense was mata, then mata, matu, matat, matata, mitna. Mit, I died. So here now, in qala yaqulu, mata yamutu is also coming on the passive qala yaqulu. Now you will see that in the present tense, the meme is having what harakat? Dhamma. So when it has a dhamma in the present tense, the first harakat of this 3-letter weak verb, then in the plural feminine, the meme from a fatha changes to a dhamma. So here, mittu, now muttu. Mitna, we died. Mutna, we died.
In the Mudari, only yamutu occurs in the Quran.
Correct. And that's everything for today. I'm not going to do the whole lesson because I need to do next session. I will go through ja yajiu, ba yabiu, asha yaishu, nama yanamu, kada yakadu, and ghaba yaghibu, and these ones over here, so that I can separate these 2 different patterns for the week. So inshallah, next session I'll do that, and then hopefully then I'll be able to start the lesson, inshallah.
And don't forget to send the 2 groups.
Yeah, I'll send that across.
Thank you. Ahsan, jazakallah.
No problem.
Ahsan.
Thank you, Sheikh.
Just to listen to the lesson is slightly tricky, but inshallah, I'll make it easier. The more practice we do, the better it will become, inshallah.
Sure.
Okay, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh.
Any question from anyone? Just listen to the lesson and I'll send you some handouts just to make it easier for you as well, inshallah.